the graph it is in your textbook already. Right. So for problem number 1, we have a graph. The graph represents 2 parameters. What the parameters are not necessarily needed, like you don't need to know exactly that. The parameters are going to be the same. You're going to compare one parameter to another with the assumption that one parameter has an impact on the other. And you want to see mathematically what that impact might be. So there's 2 questions that they ask us. What is the interval? You don't have to write this down. This is in the textbook too. You just have to write down the answers. What is the interval for the function let me rephrase that. What is the interval where the function decreases? And I'm trying to word it like kids would word it, right? Try and make it a little more student friendly. And so what they're talking about is, if we look at the graph, we're looking for a particular section of the graph where it's going downward. So remember that decreasing is when we read it like a book left to right, we're going down. So this looks like a relative maximum. This looks like a relative minimum. And so what we're interested in is the interval from here to here. Now, when they say interval, what they're really talking about are the x values. What's a fancy word for the x values? Domain. But we're going to say relative domain, because the domain means a set of x values, really, truthfully. All right? So then what I want to do is I want to kind of look down here from this point and this point, and I want to figure out on the x-axis, or in this case the t-axis, x value, but really it should be t value, because we're comparing time to dollars, okay? So what are those x values? Well, or t values. I'm going to say v of t decreases when, what's the lower bound? 3. What's the upper bound? 13. Does that make sense? So that's really the relative domain for that particular section. Now, the next question they asked us, what are the intervals where the function, oh, I forgot to change that. Instead of decrease, what are we looking at? Increase, where the function increases. So this is more of the same. What we're really interested in, remember when we talk about increasing, for increasing, we're looking in the y direction for something that goes up. And maybe I should change the color so you can see a little better, right? So we're looking for stuff that goes up. So from here to here it goes up, right? And then from here to here it goes up. So now I've got a boundary here at 3 and then a boundary here at 0. This is the lower bound here, and this is the other boundary here. So we would say that, how do I word that, you guys? V of t increases when what do I write for the first one? Huh? Well, 3, is that the upper bound or the lower? 0, 2, 3, right? I'm interested in this section right here. Does that make sense? All right, now I got to do one more, so we'll put and. $13 to what looks like 18, right? Okay. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes. Yeah, but grab a Kleenex right here on your way.